Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Terry, and today we're going to make applesauce cakes. I'm just going to give you the recipe for making one 8 by 8 pan, but actually I have 2 cups of applesauce, so I'm going to make 2, so it'll be double. I have extra applesauce left over because of the Bernardin lid shortage last year. I wasn't able to actually can in the pint jars, which are about 2 cups. I ended up having to make my applesauce and then put it into the freezer bags, which takes about 4 cups. So every time you unthaw one of those, it's a lot of applesauce to use. So consequently, I have 2 cups left over. So I'm going to start, so I'm going to make two pans and use it up and freeze them. They're going to have raisins in them. So that means none of the grandchildren will be eating them because that freaks them out. Most of them don't like raisins. It's kind of funny though, you know, years ago when their parents were little, I used to often feed them celery sticks with peanut butter with raisins that were supposed to be like ants. Do you remember that? I think if I did that for these grandkids now, they'd be running out the door. So I won't try that trick with the peanut butter and the raisins on top. Anyway, we're gonna get started. I'm softening the margarine, again, just for, give you the recipe for just 1 instead of double, but it's half a cup of margarine and soften, and then 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. So I'm gonna cream up this margarine and add the brown sugar, and then I'll be back. Okay, now I'm just gonna add the eggs. Only 1, I'm doubling it, so it's 2, but 1 egg, and then I will beat that, and then after that, once the eggs are beaten into the margarine and the brown sugar, it will be time to start adding the dry ingredients and the applesauce, and then mix in the raisins. Okay, so I'm just putting together the dry ingredients, which are 1 1/4 cups of flour, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/2 teaspoon of allspice. And then I will sift it all together like I do, so it'll be all ready to dump in to the wet ingredients. Okay, another thing I like to do is soak the raisins. It doesn't say you have to do that anywhere, but I like to do that. And they've been soaking for about long enough, so we're just gonna strain them now to get that water off. I just find them makes them juicier in the cake. So that's it. Soaking the raisins, maybe for about an hour. That works. Now that I've showed you what I've done mixing up the dry ingredients and soaking the raisins, what I'm just going to show you is that with a lot of these cake recipes, I don't always, sometimes I use that spray pan or whatever, but for this one, I have just always traditionally greased the pan with some leftover margarine or Crisco or whatever you have, bits in your fridge that you've saved to do this. Grease it well, smooth it out nice, and then flour it. I'm just going to finish smoothing this out, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how I've done. Okay, that's all been Criscoed. I think it was Crisco, some kind of lard. So I put a bit of flour into the pan now, and I shake it around good. Pat it down, and then very carefully put your hand there and let it slide down the sides, rotating this pan so anything extra falls back into the flour bin. Roll down the sides. Stick. And there you have it. All greased and floured. Okay? And we're getting ready to clean this up and then just start adding everything. Okay, now we're going to get busy and get some of these dry ingredients mixed into this these wet, half of the dry maybe, and then I'll mix it, and then I'm going to add the applesauce, so you could hear me. And I just turned the oven on because this is going to go really quick now with mixing this, and pretty much As soon as I have it all mixed together and the raisins folded in, then the 350 oven will be up to temperature, okay? So I'm gonna get busy and finish mixing this up and turn you guys off so you don't have to listen to the mixer and beaters, okay? Okay, that is all mixed together. And it was the 1 cup, well, I put in 2 cups, but 1 cup of the applesauce, and so there it is, all mixed up. And you know, I don't think I'm gonna fold in those raisins. I'm just gonna dump them in and use the beater because it's just as easy. I don't think it makes any difference if it's rising or falling. So I'll get that all beaten up, and then I'm going to divide it into these 2 pans. And hopefully by about the time I'm ready to do that, the oven will have dinged and be ready. Okay. Just thought I'd give you a look at it before I divide this up and put it into these pans. Those raisins are all nicely mixed in there. There's a lot of raisins. Who can't hide those from the grandkids? Oh well, the adults will love it. What I was gonna mention, that after they're all done and cooled, I'm gonna actually ice them, because you know when I made those Valentine's sugar cookies last week, I had some extra icing left over. Maybe not quite enough to ice 2 of them. So you know what, I found some cream cheese that I had in there, cream cheese icing that would probably good with just a hint of cream cheese on top of that applesauce, mixed in with the buttercream icing. Could be quite tasty. Good way to use up all the different icings in my fridge, as long as they're all white and the same color. I'm there. Okay, I'll get busy and we'll pop these in the oven. Okay, they're actually evenly distributed in those 2 pans that I was making. And some of you who know me will realize, not be surprised, that I actually weighed them with my handy scale to make sure they were equal. I mean, you can see they're equal, but you know, I weighed them anyway. Anyway, the oven just dinged. I'm gonna put them in there and we'll see how long that takes. I'm not even too sure, I'll have to look. Okay, they're in the oven, 350 degrees for 40 to 50 minutes. And I put the timer on for 40, and then we'll check them with a toothpick and see how well done they are in the middle. Okay, here they are out of the oven. 40 minutes was just about enough. I let them sit in there. I turned it off and let them sit in there for 3 or 4 more minutes until it was about 45, just under. 50 would have been too long. It said 40 to 50 minutes, but it would have been too long. So we're gonna let them cool for a couple of hours here, and then I'll have the icing and we'll finish them off. Okay, we're just about finished with these applesauce cakes. I mixed the 2 icings together. It's quite delicious, actually. I had that buttercream left from the sugar cookies from last week, and I had some cream cheese icing that was in the fridge that I had used a while ago. So I mixed them together, and they've turned out to a lovely flavor, actually. And so the goal is now to put enough on both of these to use it all up so I don't have leftovers again. And the butter tarts that I started making while I was waiting for these to cool, they're gonna be coming out of the oven in about 3 minutes. So I better get hustling, and I'll show you what these look like after they're iced. Okay, these applesauce cakes are all done and iced, and I will leave them for a bit to set up that icing, and then I will cut them into 4 and 4, which will be 16 pieces in each one, and put them in a container and freeze them for lunches. So you guys take care. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make applesauce cakes, and you guys stay safe. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.